We are taking an in-depth look into all sides of an affair. I mean all sides of an affair. We're going to hear from the wives. We're going to hear from the other woman, including a mistress who says she's the one who is the victim. And we're going to find out some of the incredible web of lies one man told his wife and girlfriend, that is, until the two of them decided to get together and talk and caught him bad. But first, the story of the doctor, the wife, and the mistress that has outraged our viewers. Ed's a doctor who's been having an affair with his nurse for several months while claiming to be working on his marriage with his wife, Kandi. Now, his mistress is due to give birth with their child in less than 8 weeks. Well, let's see what we've learned about their story so far. You'll remember this.
I'm a family physician.
I never suspected Ed of cheating on me.
I knew her as the nurse. It was supposed to be just a quick one-time, this is crazy, but there was some chemistry between us that we didn't expect. I came home looking for a fight with my wife, looking for an excuse to tell her.
Isn't that amazingly selfish? I mean, really, to come home and say, I'm feeling guilty, so I want to dump this on you, so you will chase me away so I can go be with her.
Look what you've done. You're the one who started this 9 months ago.
You never fix a problem in a relationship by turning to someone outside the relationship.
I just kept telling her over and over again, I feel like I've fallen out of love with you, I'm in love with this other woman.
Whether you like it or whether you don't, you are married to this woman, and you need to finish this one before you get involved in another one.
There was a crisis, a big crisis, not just with my wife, but now with the other woman. I got a phone call from the other woman. She told me, well, I'm pregnant.
You blamed yourself for this.
I blame myself because I let myself go. I gained a lot of weight.
You had 3 of his babies. That doesn't mean he gets to go out and run around with nurses at the hospital, you know?
She's pregnant. She chose to have an affair with a married man.
Your mistress is a nurse. You're a physician.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
That just doesn't seem like a very high likelihood of a whoops.
Ed has told me flat out, why can't I have both of you? And I just look at him like, are you out of your mind?
I love you as my wife, but I still care about her, and it's hard for me to accept losing her.
I'm getting the feeling here that you wouldn't yell fire if you were on fire. It's just like, well, you know, I kind of wish he would decide to keep me. He had sex with her 2 weeks ago. He went off somewhere and had sex with his pregnant mistress and came home and got in bed with you.
I took advantage of her goodness to prolong the relationship with the other woman as long as I possibly could. I just try to leave the door open as long as I can for both things.
You said that you would never be able to work on this relationship as long as that woman was in your life.
That's correct.
Then she's got to get out of your life.
I wound up talking to the other woman. She told me she was going to have a girl. I had a lot of conflicting feelings of guilt.
That's supposed to be my girl. That is supposed to be mine.
Do you need Daddy to change the oil on the truck?
No, I don't.
He said no. Okay, fine.
My kids have told me that this is all my fault because I won't let Daddy come home. They blame this all on me. They want us together no matter what. It makes me feel very sad for them. If we were to stay together, I feel it would only be for the kids' sake, and I don't think that's a reason to stay married. I'm not real sure how to explain to my kids that it's not okay for Daddy to have a girlfriend while he's married. I've tried to explain to them that when they do something wrong, they have to suffer the consequences, which is taking a toy away or being on restriction. And Daddy has done something very wrong and has to suffer the consequences. The kids see that as me being the bad guy.
Come on downstairs, Daddy's gonna be here in a minute.
Daddy picks him up twice a week, takes him to Chuck E. Cheese, to a movie, to the toy store, and Daddy's the fun guy now.
Where is he?
He told me he's at Best Buy.
What? Why is he at Best Buy?
I don't know.
I was very careful to explain to the kids that we may not be married anymore. They said they wanted us together no matter what. And I tried to explain to them that if Mommy and Daddy can't get along, then we may have to live apart. And they were very upset. Listening to them broke my heart.
Kandi, somebody here has to take the high road. I have two real fundamental rules that I use with kids all the time. Number one is you never ask children to deal with adult issues. And number two, never ask them to be responsible for things they can't control. That's the greatest stress you can ever have. You cannot use them as intermediaries. You cannot pump them for information. You cannot vent your anger and bitterness and rancor towards each other in front of those children. You should never speak an ill word about your husband to those children. He should never speak a bad word about you to the children. Because for whatever else you may think about him, he is their father,
Right.
and you don't want to do anything to come between the two.
Right.
You've never seen this woman, and you do want to see her. I'm not going to show this to anybody else, but I am going to show it to you.
Oh, God. She's ugly.
You are permitted that. Describe her.
Really
Describe what
ugly.
you think. Describe what you see.
I don't know what he sees in her. Oh, my God. Oh.
Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're
I
thinking.
feel a lot better now. I really do. It just goes to show it's not, I guess it's not about looks with him, you know, and her. It's just, she has the power to give him what she thinks she needs to give him, which is sex. And that's what she's doing. Even at 7 months pregnant, I can't imagine having sex with a woman that's 7 months pregnant and that fat, but.
Joy not only found herself involved with a married man, but she also has his child.
For the past 3 years, I have been having an affair with a married man. When I was pregnant with my first child, he'd always ask me to lunch, and I thought he was a little bit of a pervert. A few months into our relationship, I found out I was pregnant. When he told his wife, she kicked him out. When he saw our daughter, he cried, and he wanted to be a part of her life. He wanted to have it all, a marriage with his wife and his family with me. His wife didn't want him to have anything to do with me or the baby. So the first year of her life was all on the sly. It is very hard for me to end this because I do love him. We do have a child together. I feel like when I'm mean to him and I try to break it off, I've crushed him, and that really breaks my heart. I'm 35 years old. I have 2 children, 2 different guys. I'm not a trophy wife. I'm not a catch. Who's gonna want me? And he does. He stops by 3 to 5 times a week. The wife knows exactly what's going on, but she's in complete denial. I have dubbed the man I'm seeing and his wife Dumb and Dumber. If she's gonna stay in that relationship, then she has to stop playing the victim and stop blaming me. I'm not his first affair, and I don't feel I'll be his last. When I saw the show about Dr. Ed and Kandi, I felt that he was so cruel and so obviously not in love with her, and she was trying to hold on to something that wasn't there. She should have dumped him. At this point, I don't want to be involved with this married man anymore, and I don't really quite know how to do that.
First off, when you got involved with this man, did you know he was married?
Yes.
So you knew he was married, you knew he had made a commitment to someone else, that he was in a relationship there.
Yes.
All right, so what did you say to yourself that told you that you had the right to enter into a relationship with somebody else's husband?
I didn't say anything. I mean, I just didn't see it like that. I saw it like, here's someone that's paying attention to me, that's saying the things I want to hear. The fact that he was married was not like the first thing that I thought of.
Look, you're in a bad situation, right? This is a dead-end street for you. Do you realize that?
Yes.
You are being used.
I am.
And I want to go back to the origin of this. At some point, somebody else's husband was hitting on you and playing house with you. Did you have any personal standard? Did you have anything at that point that just said, I have no right to be with another woman's husband?
Well, when this had started, I had, it had already started, and I had told him, if you're so unhappy, because he told me, of course, he's so unhappy in his marriage.
Of course.
They've been out of love for 3 years, and
naturally,
you want to believe it, and then it got to a point where I felt, yeah, it is wrong, and if he's so unhappy in his marriage, then he needs to get out of it before we could continue.
What do you think about what you're hearing? Because you're on the other side of this. And this is not the woman that your husband is involved with, but could be. What do you think about all of this?
The husband is not going to leave his wife. And regardless if it was a bad marriage or not, that's none of your business. You knew he was married. Do they have children together?
No.
Okay, well, when they got married, that became their family, and you destroyed that family. It doesn't matter whether there's children or not.
What about my child?
What about your child? A child that shouldn't be here because of an affair. I saw your child. She's beautiful. But she should not be here because of that affair.
I don't know.
And the thing is, we get in these situations, we get in these realities, and your child is here, and you love her, and you would just work till the ends of the earth for her ability and success. And now that she's here, you don't suggest that she not mother this child, not love this child, not advocate for this child.
No.
You're not saying anything bad about the child.
No.
You're just saying that this came out of an affair.
Right.
All right, don't you need to stop this relationship?
Yes.
This is an illicit relationship. It's outside the bounds of the marriage bond. You're trespassing.
I agree.
You're trespassing. It's like you've come into their backyard and thrown up your tent. Okay? But that's their backyard, and you need to pack up your tent and get out of their backyard. And you need to just say to him, do not call me, do not see me, leave me alone. And if he won't do that, then get a restraining order and require him to leave you alone. But do you really want him to?
Yes.
And then number two, you have to get involved in your own life. And if he's going to be involved with your daughter, then have an intermediary where he picks the daughter up from a friend or a church member, a family person, somebody that you can trust, so you get out of this relationship. You've got to cut it off. Don't be the victim. Don't sit around and say, well, I wish he would quit calling me. You don't need for him to quit calling you. You need to quit taking the calls. Okay? You can't control what he does, but you can control what you do. And then you'll say, well, I'll be grieving the loss. I'll be grieving the loss. And that's true. There will be a void in your life. Just as if this goes the way that it appears to be going at breakneck speed, you will mourn the loss. But you know what you will mourn? You will mourn the loss of the man you wish you had.
Right. He's not that man
You
anymore.
won't mourn the loss of the man you had.
Right.
What you do is you get to thinking, this is who I wish Ed was. I wish he was honest. I wish he was committed. I wish he was devoted. I wish he was all of these things that a father and husband could and should be. And when you mourn that, you will mourn the man you wish he had been, not the man you lost. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.